So today I'm going to make some parts. I've already got one part made, and I bet you can't spot it. There's one piece on here that we've carved that I bet you can't see. Well, I'm going to show you. We made this horn. This little horn was missing, so what I did is I took a chair leg, cut it down, chewed it off, and made a good little horn out of a chair leg and a good boker from Germany. We actually made this horn to match this clock. We've gave it a little bit of stain and fitted it to the clock. So what I did is I drilled the hole out a little larger so it won't split, because they'll split if you're not careful. It's probably what happened to the original one, because this design of clock is different. It's got the stop sticking out from the actual part of the horn. Most of them's made into the horn and goes into the main part of the stem of the horn. So I had to go through and redo it and make another one, since the other one was missing. We took some stain and made it match the rest of it. So the thing is you can buy these, but I did not know what size horn to get, what was too big, what's too small. So what I done is had to cut it back here to the right angle, and then there's one side that has more arch in the curve, one side has more flatness on the curve. So when you put it on, it actually holds it more at the correct position. So that was something that kind of concerned me on trying to fit one that was already made. And another thing is I wanted to go with more of a traditional style bell on the horn. This is basically a German hunting horn, so I wanted to go with a more traditional style flare on the bell, and one that was more proportionate with the mouthpiece. And the original traditional German hunting horns is shaped more like a flared bell, and it don't have all the rings around it. So we made it more traditional, and we tried to make it more proportional. Sometimes you'll see these and the horn will be extremely large and it'll kind of stick out and look funny. So we tried to make it more blend in and look more natural. So we cut really deep in here with the pocket knife, flared this bell out, made it go in real deep to make it look more like a horn. Some of them's more shallow on the end. So we blended it in with the same color to give it more of a traditional look, more smooth look. Some of them's got a lot of rings on them, so it was a little bit more interesting to make one that would be a little bit more proportionate, be a little bit more traditional. And there's a lot of curves and a lot of shapes to it that you just can't get when you're doing it with a lathe. You basically have to do it with a pocket knife to get each little curve right and get the angles right. It's not fully proportionate. That's what makes it stand out. And the front part of the bell is dipped in a little more so you can see the back side of the bell on the inside. So it kind of makes it stand out a little more. So there's a lot of different angles to it. It's not fully proportionate. That's what makes it come to more of a original shape, is because you've got a little more flare here, a little less flare there. The curves are a little different from side to side. Then your bell's going to be a little bit off, and that's how you're going to cut one to make it look right. Otherwise it's going to be a little bit odd looking. You're going to have some weirdness in it. So that's how you're going to cut one if you got to cut one by hand. The curve's going to be really far right here. You're going to have less curve up here because you're wanting the horn to come more up. Then you want to take a little bit off of this side of the bell more so you can see the inside of the bell, so it's not just one straight line. You want to actually be able to see down in the horn just a little bit from the front angle. So this is how you'd shape one if you was cutting one by hand. This is what makes it more interesting, is cutting these pieces. My grandfather used to make wood sculptures and do a lot of little pieces for cuckoo clocks, and he would make a lot of parts by hand. Sometimes you can make them on a lathe, but sometimes the parts has to be hand made because they got to be fitted just right, so it'll tilt just right, and you'll be able to get the right angle, the right lighting to make it look more like it should. So that's how you fit one in if you're doing one by hand. I didn't want the bell to be too big on it, and it's more proportionate to the mouthpiece. If you compare it to the mouthpiece, they're actually closer in size than normal. Some of them, the flare of the bell is just really large, so we got something a little bit more proportionate, and it don't look so off. But you gotta drill this hole out so you don't split it, and glue it in real good right here. But that's how you hand make a horn. I like to make a smooth bell on one. Some people put the rings on them, but the more smooth bell that contours back into the horn looks a lot better, I think. But that's the trick to making these little horns. And they're usually always missing for some reason. I guess they're either broke down here or they fell off. But that's one way of making a horn that actually fits properly.